I don't see AI replacing my work. Let's start with sales, for example. Yeah, I know that some systems have been automated in such a way that you have a seamless sales. You can go into some retail chains, especially in the advanced world in North America, and you will see stores that you don't even need human interaction. You will see places
Mm.
like commerce here that
Like the automated checkout things.
exactly. So like yesterday, I was at Wegmans. I'm currently in New York, so I was at Wegmans and I didn't need any human interaction. I just went to pick everything and I did my automated checkout and I paid for everything and I left.
I can see where AI has taken away jobs because in all of those checkout points,
I
there used
am
to be humans.
people there, yes. I'm going to somewhere. I'm not disputing the fact that AI does not take out job, but what I am trying to address is the fact that there's a lot of fear of, oh, this is gonna take away my job. What are we now doing separately? The summary of the theme of this year's World Banquet Summit is the future of works in this AI time and era, which is almost the same thing we're talking.
Yes, yes. That was why I said I had to speak with you, somebody that I heard from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I've been in different rooms and in different discussions where this is brought up. Everybody is asking, oh, in this new generation of AI, what is the future of work?
Hi, my name is Chika, and this is Synthesis and Script. I've enjoyed working on this and hope that you find these episodes as stimulating as I have, or even more. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Conversations on Tech and AI. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today, Chidinma.
Thank you, Chika. Thank you for inviting me
Okay.
out here.
My guest today, Chidinma Nnamuka, is a sales professional, but she does a lot of things, and I'm going to allow her to explain more to us. Can you throw a light on what you do, so that my guests will get to know you better?
Okay, I think you did justice to that. I usually just tell people I'm a sales girl, and they'll laugh because I started my career in sales, but currently I work at the intersection of commercial and business strategy. So commercial, I mean, is end to end. I do a little bit of sales, supply chain, trade marketing, everything that has to do with commercial, and I currently head strategy for my company. I started as a sales professional. Yes, let me put it that way, because I started
Okay.
my career in Olam as a graduate sales trainee. But I'll just leave you at that. But there, I work at the intersection of commercial and business strategy.
Thank you so much for mentioning the graduate trainee part. One of my previous guests, one of my first, I think that was my second guest, he mentioned something about graduate trainees and how they can be the perfect launch pad for any career. So, talking about your career path now, can we know what you studied in school as compared to what you're doing now, so that we can see if your career path was intentionally planned or it was purely circumstantial, so that if anybody watching wants to be in your current role or sees themselves wanting to work in your role, what should their career path look like?
So, Chika, I'm going to be very honest with you. I think my story is similar to a lot of Nigerians, but each and every one of us, we are unique and we have our own path. I'll take you down the memory lane. I hope that time saves us. I'm learning how to be
We
good
have
at this.
time. We have time. We have time.
Okay, fine. So I schooled in UNN and I studied biochemistry in school. I remember in my final year, I knew that I didn't want to do anything in the sciences. I was speaking to one of my mentors in those days, and I mentioned to him that I want to work with KPMG. I just knew all those KPMG, PwC,
The
because
big four.
yeah, I didn't know they were called the Big Four. I knew
Okay.
Olam because I just go online to search where can someone work in Google. I just like, and I see those names and I write them out. I remember I wrote Halliburton, then I wrote Shell, I wrote KP.
Wow.
I didn't know
That
about
was the
PwC.
final year.
Yes, in UNN. I didn't know about PwC, and I knew KPMG because my aunt, my favorite aunt, her best friend's husband was working in KPMG. That was how I got to know about KPMG. So I wrote it down.
Oh, okay.
And I told my mentor that these are the list of places I want to work in. And he said, who told you about Olam? Who told you about KPMG? I said, my uncle always talks about Olam. And I checked, they say they're very big. They have a massive, he usually said they are around Kaduna Expressway. That's how I got to know them. Halliburton, I saw it is an oil and gas firm. Shell, everybody talks about Shell when I was growing up. So I want to work in those people. I don't know how to get in. I didn't know the best pathway to get into these places. So I knew that I didn't want to do anything in the sciences.
Mm.
Fast forward to my youth service year, when I was serving, I was going around asking people that studied biochemistry, where do they work? And I remember someone I was speaking to, his name is Anile Chidera. I think you might know him. Yeah.
Yes, I know him. He's going to be one of my guests.
Oh, I see. So I remember speaking to Chidera and I asked him one question because he also studied biochemistry. And he said, most of them are plant managers. And I asked how, like, what's the highest level they get to? Like, they manage plants, they do Q and C. We are just young adults. They might do more than this, but this is what he knew then. And I said, who are the managers? Who are the MDs with my
Mm.
you know, I said most of them are from commercial roles, finance and all. That was how I made my decision. And I said, nah, I want to go into finance or sales. And I started pursuing it. When I entered the NYSC camp, I understood that. I remember my cousin discussing with me, and my cousin said something. You have to start looking for a job now. It doesn't wait till you finish
Mm.
your youth service. I started applying for jobs. I started researching. That was when I understood what graduate trainee was.
Mm.
And it was a fair ground for everybody to play. I have some young youths I mentor, and I tell them, do not let anybody tell you there is no job in Nigeria. The Nigerian um, work ecosystem is a leverage. Just come out with a 2-1, a very good 2-1, and
Mm.
you have a fair ground to play. So most of these multinationals is a fair ground for you. Just go and write your exams, and if you pass and do your interviews well, you'll get in. So I started writing. I wrote KPMG. I wrote. There is no dragnet center you will not see me in.
Yes, I remember those days.
Yeah, there's no dragnet center you will not see me in. I remember my cousin having me and saying, Shima, one day they will give you shirt and write dragnet. You're not customer. Yeah, but well, I got into Olam was the first people to I finished the stages of Olam just to graduate training. They are the first people that I got their offer before
Oh,
KPMG.
okay.
So I
So,
started with
so you didn't even get plenty of offers to choose from. It was more of like first
yeah,
come, first serve.
yeah. So I was waiting. And when I got to the final stage of KPMG, after my partner's interview, I passed all of them. And they wrote to me and said that I'm still serving. And once I finish my service year, that's when I can now resume.
Join them. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So when I finished my service here, I wrote to them and I sent them my certificates, discharge certificate that I'm done with NYSC. I kept on waiting. I don't know, but I kept on writing mails and waiting. But um, as I was waiting for that, Olam dropped.
Sure.
Yeah,
Um,
yes. So and now,
yeah.
yeah, that's how I started working with Olam. So I started as a graduate trainee in Olam under sales.
And then everything took off from there. There was no more biochemistry for you. At this
Yeah,
point, you had said all the science.
yeah, from the onset, I knew that I didn't want to go into this. Was just I told you what fueled my decision to
Yes.
get into the commercial, and I don't regret it. I think I functioned very well here. It's an exciting sales is very exciting, and it just goes beyond selling. Before when I came in, when I started my graduate training, I viewed sales as just selling, but it goes
Mm.
beyond that, yeah. So in my years in Olam, I figured out that in sales we have distribution management, which you can manage the open market. We have key account management.
Mm.
Depending different companies call it different things. Yeah, wholesale management here. It all depends. And one thing I am thankful um for Olam is it stretches you, it opens you up to different things. That's if you're willing to work. I pushed myself. I really wanted to work in different things in sales. So in Olam as a graduate trainee, I was still a graduate trainee when I was assigned to 5 markets to manage.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was managing Lagos Island Okeari. Then I used to go to Ekpe. I was managing Aja Market and some other markets on literally two other markets that we are in Lagos mainland, Ijesha and all whatnot. And from there, from distributor management, I also did retail sales, secondary sales. We have the van sales rep. I follow them around to understand what breaking bulk is and route management and all that. From there, I also did key account management, managing modern trade outlets, the hypermarket and all. And key account is the role I was on for the longest because from Olam I moved to Hyatt, yeah. Hyatt
So
Care,
you got a taste of the whole business. They
yeah.
they kind of
So
rotated you through all the different.
yeah, in sales. They're all sales, but I think they are
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
Yeah,
branches.
so they're different aspect of it. So I did, yeah, all that before I did key account, and I also it was key account that took me to Hyatt. So in Hyatt, I also worked as a key account person before I moved to this role, to this company. I mean, here I did key account management also. From key account, I started heading the country. From heading the country, I now started working as the VP strategy grid for Africa. Yeah, I think that's it.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for that explanation. So, um, the key point of the conversations that I have with professionals like you is to try to get a POV, your POV, you working in the industry, of how AI has affected the way you do your work now as compared to before, and if there have been any changes, if there are no changes, if there are any fears. There's a lot of fear mongering, and we don't even know what is what. So it's more like this media people, like the media is pushing. That's by media I mean traditional media is kind of like telling us all of these things. So I want to actually know from people who are on the ground, who have their foot on the ground, to know exactly what AI is actually doing for you, what it's not doing for you, if the fears are are really deliberate fear mongering, or is something that we should be concerned about. And also if there have been any changes that people in your industry have had to do or to undertake to be able to remain relevant.
Okay, first of all, I have to put it out there. I'm a very optimistic person and I'm a very positive person.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of person you are translates to a lot of things in your life and how you view things. I
Okay.
always try to see the positiveness in everything. And I'm not someone that gets scared about challenges or new trends. And that's how I view AI. So
Okay.
I don't see it as I've been in different rooms. This is not a new topic. I've been in different rooms and in different discussions where um, this is brought up. Everybody is asking, oh, in this new generation of AI, what is the future of work? And you see that even I think I was reading an essay that was written by the CEO of Anthropics, the future of work. So he was also touch basing on this, and essentially, one thing I picked out of that is not that AI is coming to replace you, but it is going to make you more efficient. So you as a human, what can you do different to make yourself
Mm,
remain relevant? So this cuts across different industries, not just my own industry.
sure.
For me specifically, I don't see AI replacing my work. When it comes to sales, let's start with sales, for example. Yeah, I know that some systems have been automated in such a way that you have a seamless sales. You can go into some retail chains, especially in the advanced world in North America, and you will see stores that you don't even need human interaction. You will see places
Mm,
like commerce. Yeah, that
like the automated checkout things.
exactly. So yeah, like yesterday, I was at Wegmans. I'm currently in New York, so I was at Wegmans and I didn't need any human interaction. I just went to pick everything and I did my automated checkout and I paid for everything and I left. So you see that coming in, but these are computers. At the time, I'll give you a story. Just yesterday, I mistakenly paid for 3 bags. I wanted to pay for 1 bag, and the computer could not do that. So I had to still speak to one of the salespeople in on the sales floor. He was now the one that had to do now they had to do work on their system to be able to credit me back, and they did what they did, and yeah, I just had to go with one back. So now you see there is a human factor still coming in. And
Yeah,
for
but I sorry to butt in, but I can see where AI has taken away jobs because in all of those checkout points, there used
um
to be humans.
people there, yes, I'm going to somewhere. I'm not disputing the fact that AI does not take out job, but what I am trying to address is the fact that there's a lot of fear of, oh, this is gonna take away my job. What are we now doing separately? Is it taking away people's jobs? Yes. Is there a threat to job? Yes. In my industry, is it really affecting? I have not seen people. I might not know, but from the level of people I speak to and how good they are in what they are doing, I have not seen them see AI as a threat. Instead, AI is an enhancer to help them in what they are doing. I just feel like, especially in Nigeria or even some emerging markets, because I have worked in other African markets too, where we still do the traditional form of sales to a large extent. You still need the human factor to be able to interface with people, explain these products to them, and also do the strategy that you need to even see this product successfully do well in the market.
Okay.
Yeah. But one thing I know that AI is really doing well, and of which I have discussed with a lot of people, and I'm also advisor in one of the projects, is in the aspect of retail technology. I see AI playing a very huge role there. People are now using AI to solve some of the problems we have in emerging markets. In advanced markets, this has been put in place already. The retail
Can
technology.
you throw more light on the type of problems?
Yeah. So sometimes, for example, you see there is a gap in data collection.
Okay.
Some um, some companies, especially in FMCG, we pay top research companies to give us data and all. But I'm seeing a lot of retail technology specialists and companies sprouting out. They're trying to beat that gap of having FMCGs or companies depend on big research companies for just data. Yeah. So they're trying to build the gap of getting the consumer data directly, building platforms that you can sit in your office as a company and you're looking at your dashboard and understanding how what informs the consumer in buying your product or buying your competitor's product. And what this would take, so like so over the years, in some product and some companies I have worked with, I have had to sign joint business plans with some retail stores and give some percentage rebate to be able to get data from them. You
Oh,
understand? Competitor data and also sellout data to be able to understand the trends and to help with inform our strategies or the next plans we can do to help product scale in the market. But if these retail technology companies are coming in and breaking this barrier, you might not need to pay for this again. So they're taking the work off um, the payment, probably let's say the payment you make to the retail stores or what you're doing with the research companies. They will still have other jobs there. But you see what
yeah.
AI is
Because
doing.
I was going to ask you, I can see how it's taking away businesses from the people that used to do it. So now they have to pivot away to maybe another section
Exactly,
of
exactly,
offering that they used to. Okay.
exactly. And also, even bringing before you see that companies pay more attention to distributors or retailers or how the product gets to the market with little or no talking about very big companies with little or no um relationship with the last consumers. I would just say that. So you
Okay.
see that this retail technology is now building this
Kind of like a
intersection
bridge.
where that connects the big to the consumer. Even you can stay in in a HQ in Seoul and you already knowing what is informing a consumer somewhere in Surulere in Lagos. You understand? Yeah. I'm seeing AI doing a lot in that gap, and it's something I'm here for. It's something I'm so interested in this period and time here. And I told you that I work at the intersection of commercial strategy. So apart from walking away from sales, also supply chain, um, I would say that AI is really doing a lot and helping in supply chain gaps.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember just sitting in my desk for years, and um I've never seen my suppliers physically. We've never met physically here. The OEM companies that manufacture some of our products in China.
What are
OEM
OEM?
here means original equipment manufacturing company. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I have never set my eyes on them.
You just
And
speak over the phone or online meetings, virtual meetings.
live meetings, we have virtual meetings. And prior to these, sometimes when we want to do the laboratory checks and also be sure that quality checks and every other thing, AI has helped put in place systems that this quality assurance checks cannot be done virtually. Yeah, without yes. And you can do the quality assurance check through SGS and all that, and you will, yeah, and you're sure that the product, yeah, you will see some minor errors sometimes, very little,
Yeah,
but
yeah, because I know there's a little bit of
yeah,
psychophancy
yeah,
with people
it's
using
AI.
AI that's not only text and image generation. So um outside of the errors, when you were mentioning having these retail technologies bridging the gap between the final consumer and that's your side of the business where you're marketing the products. Have you had to learn any skills because you were mentioning a lot of data, and I imagine that you have to handle that data? Have you had to upskill to be able to handle the data, know what it's telling you, interpret it?
Yeah, if you're a professional, you have to keep learning every day. You have to keep learning. Earlier years back, before AI became a very big deal, I
Mhm.
Olam then. I was still in Olam to show you. This is long time ago. I had to take a course from the Italian. I took a data science course from the Italian long ago to be able to understand how to um work with data. Fast forward to present, that was last 2 years. Yeah, I also took a course from Harvard. I did a 6 months diploma course in Harvard in business analytics. Yeah, yeah, to be able to understand more. I did a course in business analytics and using AI in this new generation. So I did a core course in Harvard that will help me understand more in this AI. And I have also taken some other short certification courses in AI, especially in prompt generation and understanding how
Okay.
the different AI tools that I'll be needing for my everyday business, and that pertains to what I do, especially in strategy, in launching product, and everything that has to do with supply chain and commercials. Yeah. So I think I've been taking a lot of courses. Yeah.
Okay, so this kind of gives me a more, will I say, it gives me a clearer view of how things are, because everybody seems to be saying the same thing. They've had to upskill. AI is taking away jobs, but essentially jobs that were repetitive, sort of. So now you mentioning data, and I've been hearing data, data, data. It seems everybody now has to be able to analyze data and interpret that data. That's like kind of like the standard procedure across different professionals now. It's not like the base thing that you should be able to do. And everybody is essentially becoming a prompt engineer, everybody's upskilling, and you just have to put your foot on the pedal. and have a pulse on things. Okay. So during our preliminary call, you mentioned having some experience in policy and governance, and I would like for you to throw more light on how AI has factored in the rooms that you've been in, with product manufacturing, with regulation. I read something about the algorithm kind of like using facial detection features to be able to know what you're able to pay. So the pricing is not exactly what it is for everybody. Has that kind of like been discussed in these rooms that you've been in?
So I'll be honest with you, I've not heard of this before, and it has not been discussed in rooms I've been in. But when it comes to pricing, it is possible. There are a lot of factors that goes into pricing a product. So I've never heard of this. I'm going to go back and I'll do more research on this, because pricing is another topic entirely on its own. But when it comes to policy and governance, I am not really doing much of policy and governance. What led me into policy and governance is, when it comes to launching a product, and if you are the top of the business, it comes with a lot of things. So when we launched the nicotine brand in Nigeria, which was a new territory for us, I understood early enough that I needed to understand the regulations around this, because
Yeah, because it's a highly regulated area.
yeah, yeah, and it was still a bit vague. We had a lot of regulations around tobacco products, but not
Mhm.
nicotine products. Yes, not
Oh,
purely
they're
just.
different.
The thing here is that we have what we are launching is e-cigarette. So in it's a vape, but the the vape here has just purely just nicotine. It doesn't contain tobacco, so you won't call it cigarette. So that's just the difference. But prior to this, Nigeria have regulations and everything for tobacco product and really, but not solely vape. So when new products enter the market and we have existing regulations or policies,
Mhm.
we have to look at these regulations and policies to be sure that it also covers for this product. And if there are maybe lines or things that we feel that are not put in place, you see the policymakers or the standard organization bodies that are in charge of these things might form a new technical committee to now review these existing regulations or even come up with new regulations or policies that will
Mm.
help these products do well in the market. The beauty, I wrote about it on LinkedIn this morning. The beauty of launching a product sometimes goes beyond the boardroom. It goes beyond just thinking about the prices, the consumers, and how well it will serve them. The
Mhm.
beauty about launching products sometimes brings you into thinking about the regulatory policies, the long term impact in the environment. You understand. So this is what when I felt in the earlier wrote that we need to understand what is happening, even if they said there are no regulations. But we're a company that we pride ourselves as taking care of our consumers, and also for any market we come into, we need to follow and abide by the regulations of that market.
Mm.
So we started researching on the regulations, and sometime in 2024, I was invited to be part of the technical committee for nicotine in Nigeria. And yeah, by SON. So that is how I just did this regulation. I'm still part of the committee. I'm just a delegate. We
That's
have,
a delegate representing the companies that are selling these
yes.
products.
Yes.
Okay.
So you will see delegates from different companies, also from BAT, from GTI. Then you will see also people from different industries, from environmental. You will also see people from
From the health angle as well.
exactly from custom, which are the people that handle this product when the product gets to the port. You see people from academias. The chairman of the current our current technical committee is a professor in pharmacology. Yeah.
Mm.
So you also see people from NESRA that are in charge of the environment. So
Mm.
yeah, you see
Because the product has to have an endpoint, like what
exactly.
if
You
it's
see
meant to
people
be
from social
recycled.
health. So for every product, there are regulations that take care of that product, and everybody that have any impact to do with that product will be part of the technical committee. It is, I don't know how they do the picking, but these standard organizations come up with the people that they feel should be part of the technical committee. But one thing I understand is that you have the industry expert in different across different arms. So to talk about this product, and everybody agrees on the regulations and policies that will guide this product in the country and as far as the continent Africa. Yeah.
So essentially, this committee had to be formed fresh because we didn't have a dedicated policy or governance around nicotine as a product for marketing.
I would say e-cigarette. No, there were regulations in place before, but there was a new product, vape, a new category, vape.
Oh, okay. It was more about the category.
New category. So now we have to review, you have to revisit the existing regulations and come up with new regulations that will encompass both the other products that are related and the new product. So it's not just about nicotine, but I'm just saying in generally that when new products, probably that every day new things come up, and
Yeah, yeah. And
when you
you have
start
to make provisions for
when you
them.
start seeing attraction, when you start seeing trend, it is ideal that the country or the market comes with regulations around it to be able to, yeah, block off a lot of things and block off to be sure that what you're bringing in is consumable, is safe for the consumers in that market, is safe according to the standard of the world. And there are a lot of things to put in place and
Mm-hmm.
also checkmate people that can bring in this product. For example, when we are working on um, in Kenya, I knew that they had to put in placing licenses in place. So people have to have license to be able to do some things. If you go to South Africa, for example, probably because of some culture, they had to put licenses in people that can sell alcohol. So every market is unique. So you need to understand what happens in the market to bring up regulations that will help serve the market here.
I saw that you participated in the recently held World Bank Youth Summit, and you had some things to say about the creator economy. Can you elaborate more for us, for especially for our viewers, anybody that's interested in working in the creator economy? You had some interesting things to say about how the World Bank is working on supporting creators.
So this I'm about to say, as I'm saying it, I'm also talking to myself. You know,
Okay.
the theme for this year's, or the summary of the theme of this year's World Banquet Summit is the future of works in this AI time and era, which is almost the same thing we're talking.
Yes, yes. That was why I said I had to speak with you, somebody that I heard from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, and it was quite a beautiful experience. Yeah, it was a beautiful one. I would say that when you're in a room with youths that are doing great things, you're inspired. You want to do more. You want to push for more.
True,
Yeah,
true.
that's one thing I would say. But speaking about AI and what I took away from the World Bank, from everything everyone was saying, I know that the president of World Bank said something is 50% hard work and 50% luck. So most times I call it 50% hard work and 50% God's grace. Yeah, that's how
Mm,
the speakers at World Bank, each of the sections, one thing that kept on ringing bell to me is it now goes beyond what you are doing. You need to sell yourself also. You need to be visible for the people that need you to see you. The time has passed when we say, oh, my good work will talk for me. The right people will find me. They're not going to find you. Audacity sells today online.
yeah,
And as I'm
sure.
saying this, I am also speaking to myself. If you feel you know you have the knowledge, you have to
Hmm.
put yourself out there. Trust me, prior to the summit, to the
Mm.
World Bank Summit, I have been to a lot of summits, a lot. I have been to a lot
But
of
you
inter-
never posted.
I
We
don't
didn't get to hear about them because you're not a
so
people,
now
a social
I,
media facing person.
exactly. So and one thing again that this summit shifted is if you reached out to me before the summit and said, oh, I would like to, I was like, Chika,
You
okay,
say no.
mm, I'll
You
find
say no
a
in
way.
a packaged
I will
way.
not, yeah, I will not want to hurt your feelings, but I'll find a way to, yeah. But now I think that I am ready to share my knowledge, and And
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important that people who are actual experts should show up in these spaces and do the education, or at least give us their own POV. Because if you don't do it, somebody else who is not well versed as you would do it, and they'll be speaking from a place of ignorance, or they will be speaking from a place of pen and paper and not from experience. So it's also important from that angle.
yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. So everybody keeps talking about visibility. And one thing that made me understand that, say, you have no choice. Everyone have to be out there. It doesn't
Mm,
matter. This has come to stay. You know, the World Bank, when the IFC MD was speaking, and he says that um, they are creating budgets for the creator economy. So if the bank sees a need to have a budget for creator economy, it's just something that it has come to stay. A lot of
mm,
companies, I think I wrote about it. I don't know whether either on Instagram or on LinkedIn, I posted it somewhere. Yeah, I was reading something about, and yeah, it's on Instagram. And trust me, that was what pushed me to talk about my coming to World Bank. I saw something, Unilever. I saw something on one of the blogs I follow, one of the business blogs I follow. It said that
mm,
Unilever increased um their budget for influencers and creators,
mm.
and says that the VP for, I can't remember one of them, but I have to go back to that news so I don't quote wrongly. Let me read it. Yeah, Unilever just moved half its budget to creators. It
That's its
shows.
advertising budget, right?
Yes. So just move half of its budget. No, they said the entire budget to creators. So they are seeing the impact of, like in the news I was reading, he said that even if it is in a village in Bangladesh and there's a creator, they're getting the creator. So they need people that can convert consumers,
Mm-hmm.
that can convert people to consumers, to customers. So it's showing you something. If you're not putting yourself outside there, how will they be able to find you?
Mm,
If multinationals, government parastatals are seeing the need for youth, for people to put themselves outside there. So it has come to stay. It's a journey you need to build for yourself. It's a journey that you need to see. As I am doing set now, how I say it is, or if I need this, I need to do a certification to get it. So that means if I need to be visible, if I need to get to my target audience, if I need to, when they think about sales, strategy, supply chain, they think of Chidinma, I need to also put myself outside there.
mm-hmm.
It's a journey for me also. So I'm still working on the journey, but yeah, that's one takeaway I took
I'm
from.
very grateful. I'm very grateful to the World Bank for helping you bring you to this point where you're able to agree to come on my show. And I imagine that would translate to going on other people's shows and maybe even reaching out because you also
Yeah,
need the visibility. And I guess it will help you grow in your career.
yeah, the week you reached out to me, I had another I got another mail. Before, when I see those mails, I just ignore them. I'm like, I beg, you're not seeing me. You are who? You want to set me up. so, so whenever I see them, I'm like, I just ignore it. But yeah, I got another mail and I accepted that. It's an avenue for me to learn. I might say things that are not correct and I stand to be corrected. People can see, people that don't want
Yes, yeah, yeah. You get better the more you do it,
this.
actually.
So they will
And
correct me.
I've noticed a lot of people that are not even traditional creators. They have become more vocal. There's this guy, I don't know his exact name now, but I'll put his name in the video when I'm editing it. He's a scientist, and you know, scientists, researchers, they are more like I'm in the lab, I'm doing my thing. And then there's this lady, Hannah Fry. I love her. She explains science concepts so well that you would understand everything that she's because she relates it to everyday events. So I like that people are leaving their traditional roles or traditional teaching environments to come online and make this thing very interactive. So I'm really grateful that like this kind of incentives to show up is actually bearing fruit now, and we get to see more authentic forms of these professionals and these experts, and the world is going to be the better for it.
Thank you so much. I'm not gonna stop. I'll just keep walking with the momentum.
So, as a form of wrap up, do you have anything? Do you have any parting word or parting advice for anybody who would like to be in your current role, who would like to walk the path that's the career path that you've currently walked? Is there any thing that you wish you had added earlier on, or maybe any extra that they need to do, especially for young people that are still in the university or still in NYS, that's still in service, hoping to jump
I
into the job market?
I said it earlier on. Nigeria has a fair playground. I advise that if you're still in the university, I'm not saying that those that came out with two or second class lower or they are not smart or they are not going to make it in life. No, that's not what I'm saying. But um, to be on the safe side, I think that I would advise that if you're still in the university, try your best to come out with a 2-1. And and when you come out, see yourself, you're your competition. No other person is. So you need to motivate yourself. You need to start looking for job immediately. Do not wait. Write out the list of companies. Dream as big as you want. You're going to be able to get there. That is one thing I didn't tell my old self. Dream as big as you want. And when anybody tells you, oh, gives you any side comment, because I remember starting off something writing years back when I was service the first day in camp, and someone left a comment and said another storyteller. I stopped.
So and that was it.
And for years, whenever I want to pick up my camera, I hear that another storyteller, like doesn't want it. So just last as I was in that room in World Bank, I didn't want to talk about this, but as I was in that room in World Bank, that another storyteller became another thing to me. So
It
when I
became
hear that,
pride to us now.
exactly, I said, yes, of course. So what if I didn't listen to that? What if I didn't hear, I didn't see that? I would have continued and I would have gotten better. So people will they're going to criticize you, they're going to
True.
critique your work. Just be an open-minded person, be a learner, strive to keep being the best. And you're going to get there. Then another thing I'll also talk to when I talk to young professionals and young people that are also starting off in their career, I'm still young. I have a lot of mentors. I'm still learning, but people that
Yeah,
just
that's one thing I noticed earlier when you were talking about your the period where you were waiting for service to finish and then jump into the job market. That's one thing a lot of people don't have, which is mentorship. And I think that's one of the advantages that any young person should be able to tap into now.
yes, they should get mentors, very good mentors. If you know that there are a lot of people that have they are living the life you want, to look for someone, reach out to them, let them mentor you. There are people that are willing to do it free. There are organizations like AODI, um, that's
What's AMP?
I'm going to Africa Over Our Dreams initiative that go to
Okay.
campuses to get universities. They have mentors sign up on the platform. I was once a mentor on that platform to mentor young undergraduates to help them make better career choice, to help them navigate through this, look for such organizations and be part of. And for young professionals that are already in the work, what I always tell them when they ask me for advice is this: do the work as if the work belongs to you. You can never find me in a room where I am saying which one concern me in my papa company. You can never find me in that room. I work like this is my company because the only thing you take away from a company, the only thing you can take away from a company is the knowledge. Nobody can take it away from you. So if you are working in that company, like I'm coming into clock at the end of the month, give me my salary. Time will tell what makes people grow faster and what made them stand out. When I tell people how many years of experience I have, and I meet senior professionals, especially in FMCG or in these conferences I go to, and we get to discuss, and they pause and they ask me, when did you start? When they hear when I started, or they're shocked, they're like, how? How do you know all this? I pushed myself. In Ola, for example, how did I get into key account? When the key account person resigned, I was not person to get into this role. But prior to that, I had someone I met on LinkedIn. I reached out to the lady. She's one of the MDs of the top multinational companies in Nigeria in the wines and spirits space. She's the country
Okay.
head, but that's not the country head. She was not even in Nigeria then. I reached
Mm,
out to her, and she was the one that introduced me to the person that mentored me in key account management. And when the opportunity came out, because I told her, oh, I'm in sales, I'm doing open market. Da, da, da. The person was teaching me a lot about how to manage shop right, how to manage those things were great to me. But those little knowledge I got was what made me be the one to be picked to replace the key account person. So if
mm,
I am in sales, if you call me and wake me up, I should be able to speak about sales every day. I should be
mm,
able to. So it's no longer about, oh, I've done my job, I have gone home. No. If you want to do big, if you want to do a lot for yourself, if you want that, if you think about a role they call you, it goes beyond just coming to do the job. Do the job like a
mm,
life, it depends on it. Because at the end of the day, it is your knowledge, it is what you know, and nobody can steal it away from you. The people that report to me now, I tell them that if you're going to work with me, I am going to make sure I impact knowledge. And if you're not ready to learn, you just go. Because I need to, I need tomorrow when you look back, you say, oh, this lady I worked with made me this person.
mm.
So you need to, I
This
make you
is
to
a form
feel,
of paying it forward because others did the
so
same for you.
I think that it is part of the things, one of the values of working in Olam, like the whole entrepreneurship. I didn't understand it, ownership. I didn't understand it till now. Expect you to work like you own the business. And when you work as if you own a business, the only thing it gives you is it leaves you with in-depth knowledge that nobody can take away from you.
Sure, sure. And
Yeah,
even
so
when you leave the corporate space, you're able to transfer all of that knowledge into your own business.
we are doing. Yes, that's what I tell people.
Okay. Chidinma, thank you so much. I know you're very busy and you made time to to come on the show. I'm really, really grateful. Thank you very much. And I hope that you continue in this path. I hope that you keep the thought shining. Don't listen. The naysayers will always be there. I get some kind of feedback that kind of dulls my spirit, but I'm like, this person is just speaking from a place of this is what they know, this is their own reality. Everybody's going to be speaking from their own personal experience. So I'm not going to let somebody's experience dull my own shine. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad that you appreciate and thank you for inviting me.